Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Pretend Problems Podcast. I'm Kelsey Cook.
And I'm Lucille Ball.
Interesting.
Saw a clip of her earlier stomping grapes. Like one of the most iconic scenes in sitcom history.
Yeah.
Holds up.
God, she was amazing.
So funny, so physical.
Yeah.
And just knew exactly what to do, how to raise an eyebrow. Mm-hmm. Incredible.
People reference one of the episodes to me a lot because she used to be, it was like an episode about her being a ringer or something. For what though?
I don't know.
I don't know either. But anyway, with my foosball stuff, people are like, send in Lucille.
Oh, funny.
Yeah. So we got a few different things to talk about on today's episode. If you listened to last week's episode, we talked a lot about sports jinxes and sports betting and stuff like that. And so we got some emails about that.
Yeah, we started to refer to them as Kelseys here at the house. We don't say, oh shit, wide left. We go, got Kelsey'd.
And you guys also left quite a few comments on the YouTube episode of it saying that I'm in the wrong and Chad's in the right. And I've like fully, I'm here to learn about it. I accept it.
Yeah. So when people say you're in the wrong, I don't think you ever argued it.
No, it's true.
I think we were just talking about it, and I'm going to guess. Listen, I haven't watched the episode, but I'm going to assume I was coming over the top. That's what I mean. I don't really have to watch much. That's what I'm saying.
You had a big reaction to something?
That's what I'm saying. I don't have to watch to know that I overreacted. And so people thought maybe you behind the scenes were arguing with me, and really you weren't.
No, I don't know if I'd call it an argument, but it's the idea of like, yes, I can completely understand that people feel strongly about sports jinxes,
sure, but
there's no way of knowing that me saying that before the end of the game is the reason why.
Oh, you are starting trouble. Okay. Well,
I'm just saying there's no way to know.
And the only reason we can't have evidence on the other side of it is because you did say it.
Exactly.
Had we had the ability to have you not say it, and I still would have lost, then we would have some information. But unfortunately, all of that information was burnt up in a fire at the warehouse.
I did argue in favor of myself last episode that there are times where I say nothing and you still lose the bet. So it's hard where it's like you can't know for sure, but I still am willing to completely abide by this is the sports watching etiquette. And I can get behind it.
I think I have lost several bets when you haven't said anything, but I was losing them from like the first quarter. I think it's the idea behind having the bet, like shutting my eyes and seeing the financial transfer come into my bank account.
Sure.
And then you go, well, I can't believe they won.
It's looking real good.
So
what could happen in a minute and 30 seconds?
Oh, I can tell you, 11 points. So last episode I said I'm not going to bet anymore.
Yeah.
Can't do it. I don't think I'm addicted.
You are for sure
also
addicted.
Don't care. I only vote. I bet last year, let's see. I bet this season on one college football game.
Yeah.
Won it. Because it seemed like the odds makers put in the wrong numbers. And so I saw it and I'm like, I have to bet this game. But otherwise I only bet on professional football.
Right.
I do the bracket with you and stuff like that for March Madness. But so I said I wasn't going to bet. That's not going to happen. I don't want to watch more than my team if I'm not betting.
Again, you said an absolute and then changed your mind?
That's right. And also, I'm never having sugar again. What's for dessert tonight? So here's what I've decided to do. I've decided to bet whatever I want. We don't share money, by the way. Let that be known. We don't share...
Pro tip.
We don't share finances.
I think that's a good recommendation.
Fritz, friend of the show, great friend of mine, him and his wife, they don't share money or blankets on the bed. They have their own little separate, right?
Yeah, I think that's a Swedish
thing. They can
thing.
come together underneath the tent if they need to Well, listen, I'm not going to say what they do here on this show. It's none of my fucking beeswax. However, they have 2 kids, so I know at least twice. But.
The rest of it could just be hand stuff. We don't know.
So, but they don't share blankets, and I think, and money, and I think that's great.
Yep.
So anyways, what I've decided to do is I'm going to bet whatever I want, whatever my heart desires, and then I'm not going to tell you about it. So that way you can feel free to cheer however you want. And the way you cheer is crazy. I'm going to tell you that. You, like a kicker misses a kick that I need, and you feel so fucking bad for that kicker. You're like, oh, him and his family. What if his kids get teased at school? You light a candle for him. Make sure his wife doesn't get mocked at their fucking thing. Half the kickers in the NFL are way right wing, and of course they are, because they know there's a fucking 9-year-old in Guadalajara that can kick a 90-yard field goal, or 90-year-old human being 100 yards, because they're frail and light. And they have bird bones. So a little kid, Guadalajara can kick a 90-year-old human being 100 yards in the air, no problem.
Yeah.
Right? But then you get all the kickers and they're like, well, goddamn border. Of course you don't want him here. You fucking suck.
You need to, next time I'm like, oh, I feel bad for the kicker. Just like pull up their Wikipedia or something if they're super right wing, and then I won't feel bad anymore. That would be the key to it. But
I don't know if they're right wing. I only know that one Harrison Butker guy from the Chiefs. But my point is that you can feel as bad as you want. And I'm not going to take it to heart because you don't know what my bets are. So this is completely how you feel. You can feel bad for them. You can go, well, I just want everybody to win. Well, that's sure not how it fucking works. You're going to make a fantastic great grandma. And what else do we have?
With our fake kids.
Let's. Well, I have 2 kids. You don't.
I'll be a great step great grandma.
Well, okay. I mean, you don't know. Like I said, put one in your lung, but. And then I can sit, right? You can be sitting there doing a seance for the safety of his family, and I can dream about putting on a surgeon's outfit and a surgeon mask. So my identity is covered, and the NFL lets me publicly amputate the kicking leg of these fucking goons who can't make a 40-yarder in the NFL, National Football League. It's the top of the mountain. And you can't make a kick, you silly bitch? That's unbelievable. I hope their kids do get beat up at school, so they go, I don't like sports. Good. Don't ever be in it. Ever.
Oh my God.
Sorry, I'm yelling.
Did Amazon 2 hours ship you some cocaine before this episode? Oh
no, I'm just fired up. You get me talking about gambling. And here's the thing, but I like the fact that now you can care about them, and you don't have to care about them with any sort of, well, I feel bad for the kicker, but I know Chad bet on this thing, so you don't have to worry.
I don't want to be involved anymore.
One little hair on your head.
It's not necessarily... Harm, wait, say that again?
I was saying I think that saying's about harm, and I was using it as worry. Oh, sorry, Freud.
I just feel bad in any sports situation when it's like a game-winning miss or a lot of pressure on one person. It could be any sport. It could be any person, but it's like if somebody doesn't make the shot to win the game and their team walks off the court and doesn't look at them, or off the field doesn't look at them, it just like, it guts me. It makes me feel so sad for how that must feel going to bed at night. Because I've played sports my whole life. I know what it feels like to fuck up and have your team be mad. It's like, it's a horrible feeling.
Yeah, but do you know what it also feels like to be the team that worked super hard and then someone else fucked up on the other team and you won? It feels great. Take that energy and run with it. Plus, I have never seen a kicker miss a field goal. Here's what bothers me extra. Yeah. I've never seen a field goal kicker miss a kick.
Yeah.
And then no one looks at him. Everyone always goes up to him and go, hey, next time, dude.
Yeah.
That sucks. They should be going, hey, next time when we have a fucking replacement kicker and you're at home watching this game like everybody else with your one leg missing because Dr. Death was agreed upon on the NFL. I can't wait to be Dr. Death. Take that leg.
Oh my God.
Chainsaw, if you were wondering.
You fucking crazy.
I'm not crazy.
You crazy.
I'm just saying, if we're going to, let's Hunger Games this bitch. If you miss a kick, we take your leg. Simple.
It's going to be for the better that you don't tell me what your bet is.
I think so too.
And then we can just watch it at the same time, but kind of in our own mental worlds.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I will know.
I'm going to try my hardest to not let you know.
But I'll know by the end because we'll be watching a game where it's like there should be no reason to be invested because our team isn't playing.
Right.
But somebody will miss a kick and Chad will yell,
I will speak sternly.
What the fuck are you doing, you dumb dick? I'll hear that from the other level of the house. Oh my God. What are you doing? Ugh.
You want to know why? Because it's not like they bring in an offensive lineman to kick the kick. It's not like the other team gets to pick someone on their team and go, he has to kick it. Nope. He's called the kicker, for fuck's sake. Make the kick.
I know, but it makes me laugh so much.
You know what a butcher does? Butch. You know what a baker does? Bake. I don't know if that's right. But still, if you're the kicker, fucking kick. Kick the ball through the thing. I can't imagine it's that hard. I made a field goal, fully loaded. We went to Nebraska. We went to where the Cornhuskers play. I fucking drilled one.
Yeah.
Give me a chance. You feel bad for people that are in the NFL making a whole bunch of money to kick a ball and play a boys' game. Feel bad for me. I was never even asked to be in the NFL.
I do feel bad for you.
Thank you. I was going to say, where's the empathy there?
I'm so sorry. You've had such a hard life.
I haven't had a hard life. But you want to give me millions of dollars for kicking a ball? I'll do it.
Yeah, I will. I'll fucking gladly do it.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
Yeah. You know what I'll actually do is I'll take 80% of that millions of dollars and I'll go down to Guadalajara and I'll fucking get that kid over here, give him 20% of my earnings, whatever they're called, and then get him a citizenship. Boom.
Boom.
I love it. Just be sitting here.
You are for sure addicted to gambling. To sports betting, at least.
I don't know that I really don't know that I am.
What would happen if you went an entire season without?
I mean,
how do you think you'd feel?
Probably not. Well, here's the thing, though, is fantasy football gambling?
Yeah.
Well, I can't do that because I'll get kicked out of my league.
Oh. What if you didn't bet on live sports?
I think I could do that. I just don't think it's as fun. I mean, if you think for 1 second you're going to take drinking from me and gambling, then I'll start doing fucking straight heroin in front of your family. I will ask them to come here on vacation and I will say, listen, I have something very special planned. I need you guys to come here. And then I'm going to have them, and there's going to be somebody with a camera that we don't even know about. There's going to be someone with a camera over to the side and everyone's going to be like, oh my God, what's happening? And I'm going to get down on one knee and I'm going to put a fucking speedball right in my arm and go, I need something.
I didn't take drinking from you.
I know you did. This has been I understand.
You, if anything, are the one who was like, you know what? I think I'm going to stop.
That's
and
true.
I was like, you know what? I think I will too.
I know. That is very true.
Bunch of bullshit coming on our public podcast. You're going to keep taking things away from me. It's like wild misinformation.
It is.
Take anything from you.
You have taken nothing. I know you would never ask me to stop gambling, and I know that the drinking was all about sleep for me.
Yeah.
And so, I'm just trying to stay fired up here. Get the comments rolling in.
I just think where you're like, I don't think it would be as fun to watch the game without gambling. And I can see that because I think the chemical boost you get when you win at sports betting, I can see how that's way more fun than watching it without betting. But the things that happen to you emotionally when you lose, that's when I'm like, I don't love seeing that in him. I don't love watching you wake up in a good mood. We're having a great day together. Yep. And then somebody who is not even on our team fucks up a kick and you're screaming at the TV. It's like, that shouldn't, I'm like, God, there's so many like real problems to bring your mood down in the world. I'm like, I just wish that wasn't a thing.
I know two things. Haters gonna hate and kickers gotta kick.
Oh my God.
That's all I know.
Do you hear what I'm saying though?
I do hear what you're saying but I will tell you this. We were watching a game recently and people are so fucking bored. They're like, sports. But
I think people who listen to our podcast maybe also like sports sometimes.
We were watching a game once. Remember where the refs kept throwing flags and fucking up calls?
Yeah.
I was so mad.
Mm-hmm.
And I had no money on that.
Oh, okay.
I just fucking hate. It's like
you like justice.
So you're the kicker.
Yeah.
Kick it and make it.
Yeah.
You're the referee. Do your job. Keep your fucking flag in your pocket when it isn't like not a big deal.
Yeah.
Or, it just drives me crazy when it seems like these referees, they just want their attention.
Yeah.
And they think that they're doing this big justice thing, but then you see it from the reverse angle, and then they call New York, and New York is like, fire that fucking idiot. It wasn't even close.
Yeah, yeah.
So I just don't. I'm for second chances. I'm going to tell you something. I'm for second chances because without second chances, I think my life would be a lot different. And but I'm not for third chances. I'm like the amount I am for second chances is only matched by my being against third chances.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a fair way to live.
I think so.
Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. Fool me 3 times, can't get fooled again.
There's this guy.
What's the quote he does? I know I just fucked it up, but
who?
George W. Bush.
Oh, I don't even think he finishes a sentence.
Yeah.
I think he goes, fool me once, shame you. Fool me twice. They got the towers or something like that. I can't remember, but I think it was that. I think it was in that time frame. But there's my friend Andy Ritchie, who has since passed away, but he did comedy here in Minneapolis. So goddamn funny. And he used to have a thing where it's like, fool me once, and I don't even know the thing. So it's fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times. Hey man, why you got to be such a dick?
Yeah.
And he was so earnest when he said it. It was very lovely. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I reversed mine. Fool me once, shame on you. Yeah. I reversed it. Oh. Whatever I said, flip it.
Ooh, Missy Elliott lyrics all of a sudden.
I very recently in my life learned that in that song, Work It by Missy Elliott, that backwards part, she's just saying what she said in reverse.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I did not know that. Kind of blew my mind.
No, I've told you this one time. Missy Elliott came to a show in Atlanta, and there were 2 Lamborghinis outside, and they were parked right next to the door. And I go, "What the hell's going on out here?" Because I just went out there to like whatever. It was very, very busy, hot. There wasn't a place to sit. Mm-hmm. Went outside for a second, and the people go, "Missy Elliott's in the show." And I go, "Oh."
She watched your show?
Yeah. I go, "Oh, this must be accidental."
I don't remember this.
I have told you this.
What?
And then through the merch line, I got a lot of people around her, and then a separation of shoulders. And she goes, "I love you, Chad Daniels." Just like that.
What?
Yeah, I've told you that before.
Are you sure?
I'm absolutely positive I've told you that because every time Missy Elliott comes up, I tell that story. Who wouldn't?
Well, yeah. She liked one of my Trumpet Tuesday videos with my dad because he did a Missy Elliott song on there.
Oh, I wonder if that's when I told you. I wonder if I tried to beat your story. I didn't really.
Sounds like you.
Okay.
God, that's so cool. So she's a fan of yours?
I have no idea, but that's what she said.
God, how long ago was this? Long time?
Probably 3 times ago, and she hasn't been back since. So, maybe she didn't say what I thought she said. Maybe she said, "I don't."
Oh my God.
I don't love you, Chad Daniels.
Oh my God. That's so cool.
Anyways.
I love Missy Elliott. She went on tour this past year, and I really wanted to go, but she didn't come over here.
Yeah.
But I would have totally seen Missy Elliott live. And
she's unreal.
God damn it, she's great. Okay. We also wanted to say, before we get into plug-in tour dates and questions and all that stuff, that last Friday we released our monthly full-length bonus episode of Patreon where we answer more listener questions. And this last week's one was my favorite one that we've ever done, because not only did we answer some really amazing questions that you guys wrote in, but Chad and I ended up having like an impromptu mini couples therapy session.
We sit down with a plan, and then something hits my brain just a little sideways, and I'm like, I need to talk about this immediately.
Let's figure this out right now with microphones in front of our mouths
Yeah.
and a camera rolling. So anyway, Chad had some recent Chad in public moments, and it's so funny. I started to listen to the middle of Somewhere that came out today to hear whatever it was that you hadn't told me yet.
But I don't think I told any stories on that one.
Oh, okay. Is it coming out a different one?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay, never mind. But anyway, we just talked about some of that stuff, and it ended up that your therapist had homework for us.
That's right.
As a couple, and it was my favorite one that we've put out of like a full-length bonus episode on Patreon. So if you want to go listen, I'm telling you, there's good stuff over there. It's patreon.com/pretendproblems. And some of the questions we covered, somebody wrote in about like not liking a new tattoo that their partner got and wondering like how much of a say should a partner have with a person's tattoos that they're with. We talked about somebody wanting some advice on weight loss and like self-image stuff. And anyway, it was just, we covered a lot of great questions.
And it was awesome. One of the questions was from a guy that actually said, I don't have Patreon. So if you read this question on Patreon, please email me so I can go get Patreon. Listen, we're going to get you there one way or the other.
It's a whole other part of the show. So if you guys are a fan of the podcast and you listen to the weekly episode and go, okay, I also like want more, we put out 3 bonus episodes every month. Plus, we just mailed out our friendship bracelets. Yes. There's still a handful of you who haven't sent your mailing address. So if you're part of the highest tier on Patreon and you haven't sent your mailing address, please do. But otherwise, you guys should be getting them in the mail soon for those of you who are part of our Fuck Yeah Fixer tier on there. But
nice.
Anyway, should we skip a middle segment because we're going to do a mini bonus?
Yeah, we're going to do a mini bonus after this. So let's not do a middle, and let's this comes out this week.
Yes.
Salt Lake City, Las Vegas next weekend, and then a whole shit ton of dates for next year, 2025. I know my first one is in January, and I know it's Atlanta, so shout out to Missy Elliott. Show up.
Missy Elliott.
Show up.
And then I am in Austin this weekend at Cap City Comedy Club, and then I'm in San Antonio next weekend. So 2 Texas dates for the rest of this year, and then I'm also in Houston and Dallas in March of next year. So I'm trying to get to all the main places in Texas between this tour and next tour, and then all of my other tour dates. So many. 3 that Chad and I are doing together, if you don't already know. That's Long Island, Wellmont, New Jersey, and Philly in April. So kelseycook.com for all of those tickets. And as always, if you guys want to write into the podcast, it's pretendproblemspodcast@gmail.com. Yeah. Send us your questions. Send us your thoughts on the things we're talking about. We'd love to read them on the pod or the Patreon. Okay. This one is titled, Jinxes Don't Operate in Vacuums.
Okay.
Chad and Kelsey, considering the possible jinx during the Vikings versus Bears game, let's assume for a moment that jinxes are real. Although I personally agree with Professor Roy Hinckley of Gilligan's Island that they are not.
Damn.
What a reference.
This is a deep cut already.
Jinxes in NFL football cannot operate in a vacuum. You will agree, yes? And that for every Kelsey saying, looking good, with a minute 30 to go, there would have also been many other fans watching that game saying things as well, yes? And in this particular game, you also had the added effects of all the Packers fans watching the end of this game before theirs started at 3:25, rooting for a Chicago comeback because the Vikings are ahead of the Packers in the standings. This is very interesting to me.
Yeah, it is.
Do you really think Kelsey's jinx powers, such as they are, would have been powerful enough to affect this game, given all the extra jinx power the Packers faithful would have been pumping into the ether at the same time? Hers would have been the beat of one butterfly's wings in the same direction as a hurricane vortex, whose center of rotation was over Wisconsin at the time. In short, even if jinxes are real, hers would have been negligible in that weather. They're not, though, so there. Best, Steve. Steve, thank you.
Thank you, Steve. I think that I wasn't hearing any of the Green Bay Packer fans. I think she said it in such close proximity to me that it directly affected the game. And according to Thurston Howell III, get fucked. I'm kidding.
My God. You write into the show at your own risk. Chad is a fucking hyena. You have no idea what he's going to say, how he's going to attack you.
I think that's a very well thought out and well written.
It's true. I mean, I wholeheartedly agree with what you said, Steve.
Of course.
Of course I would, because you're on my side. But I've read the comments on YouTube this time. I am hearing you guys that in sports, you just don't say anything. And I'm like, for sure, I get it. No problem. And we watched football yesterday.
And I thought it went great.
And we ended up fighting about something else. So it was great.
Yeah, that's true.
But not about sports.
That's
true. I didn't jinx anything.
Yeah, we'll probably get to that on a... Here, I got it. We'll get to that on a Patreon episode. Just teasing. Yeah, that one's a tough one because I think early on in this podcast, we had a question about splitting holidays.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And we probably have to revisit that.
Yeah.
Because... What's the next one?
It wasn't a full-on fight. It was just talking about our feelings about how to split our time with our families during the holidays, which is probably one of the most relatable couples arguments that has ever existed in the history of man.
Right. If there is a financial obligation to get to one family, do they also get actual Christmas? Write in and let us know. No, I'm just teasing. Look at your face. Oh, fuck. Oh, my God, your face. Oh, that was absolutely perfect. I hope this is the thumbnail.
God.
I hope this is the thumbnail.
I'm surprised sometimes that actual fire doesn't light up in my pupils.
Oh,
and smoke come out of my ears.
Smoke has never come out of your ears, but fire is, there are times where it gets moving.
I'm an Aries. I'm a fire sign.
Good thing I'm a Pisces. Put that fire out, girl.
Okay. This next one is titled, Don't Eat Where You Shit. Well, too late in this house. But it's going great. All right. It says, hey, Kelsey and other. That's funny. New listener, slowly, that's a first. New listener, slowly catching up. Love the podcast. I'm on episode 33, and Chad's machine gun fart incident reminded me of a similar time I had at work. Felt something rumbly in my tummy. Ran to the toilet and began to unleash the gates of hell. Mm-hmm. My fart started at an 11 and only went up from there. If the fart sound scale was a Harley rev to a full throttle, I was an exploding. This went on for a good 30 seconds, and I'm pretty sure I registered on the Richter scale. Needless to say, the whole office heard. I'm a fairly thin guy, so I was a bit startled I could produce enough gas to heat every American home for the day. Not sure what I ate, but I totally understood when the cost of a new toilet was deducted from my paycheck. Oh, fuck. Anyway, on to my question. I'm a single guy approaching 40. I'm an improv comedian and a rock climber, and the type of women I'm attracted to are, you guessed it, comedians and climbers. However, I have learned the hard way to not eat where I shit. Don't date women from where you frequently go, gym, comedy club, work, etc. Otherwise, you can make that space awkward to visit for the both of you if things don't go well. Both of you are in comedy, but I'm sure this wasn't a problem for the two of you since you started off dating long distance. In this same episode 33, Chad gave advice I've heard before, which is to engage in activities you like, and you'll meet people you can date with similar interests. That doesn't work for me. Not to mention, most of the women I see at the climbing gym or who do improv are 20-somethings, which is too young. I know you two have talked about the age gap thing, but pre-30 doesn't sit right with me as a population I can approach without going to jail somehow. I feel somewhat trapped, and I'm not able to find many people my age who also do my same activities. What am I to do? No name, please, but you can call me Love Stuck if that helps. All right, Love Stuck.
Dear Love Stuck.
Dear Love Stuck. Well, my first thought when I read this email was, as maybe convenient as it would be to meet somebody at the climbing gym or improv class, there have to be other interests you have or other things you like that maybe aren't in the category of like a full-on hobby. What?
You and I have the same advice, I think. Keep going.
Whoa. I just think maybe if you are somebody who's like, I don't want to do the apps, I want to meet somebody in real life, you have to start thinking about like, what are other things I like to do that are not just part of these two categories? And it could be something as simple as like, you really like to read, so maybe you fucking hang out at Barnes & Noble for a little bit. Maybe you love coffee or you love baked goods, so you go to your favorite coffee shop or whatever it is. But like, I would really start to think about what are the places you frequent in a week? What are things that are like an organic conversation starter for you, and see if maybe that's a way you could do it. Or maybe ask your friends and family like, hey, is there somebody you know that you think I would click with? Could be an option too.
Yeah, if you're scared of screwing up the gym or a comedy club, definitely get your family involved. I'm just teasing. I would also say if you do go to Barnes & Noble, maybe not the person reading.
Barnes & Noble?
Noble?
Oh,
sorry. Barnes & Noble. Please don't. Please don't be gravitated towards the people reading for free, because you're going to end up buying dinner for the rest of your fucking life. Now, to my actual advice.
Oh my God, that's so funny and so shitty.
Similar to...
I go to Barnes & Noble and read sometimes.
For free?
Well, how are you going to know if you want to read a book? You might read the first page or two.
It.
You read the back. Yeah. I'm not going in and popping a squat with a book and reading cover to cover for free.
Is it popping a squat?
Pop a squat.
Oh, I thought it was cop a squat.
Maybe this is a regional thing. In Washington, we say pop a squat.
Could be. I could be definitely wrong on that. But I'm just saying, if you're going in there to read full ass books,
like treating it like a library,
that's too much.
Sure, yeah.
Okay. Can I go? I'm just kidding.
I will punch you in the face because
Assault?
I, for once, did what you do, which is where you interrupt me.
I know, and I actually love it.
And take something to another level just to be funny.
And I have told you that I love when you get a little attitude-y. I actually like it.
Well, get ready for more of it if you keep this shit up.
Good. We're going to decorate our Christmas tree later, and one of us might end up being the angel when we shove the tree up the other person's asshole. All right. So I would say...
Merry Christmas.
I would say, so the gym for rock climbing and the comedy club, I would put those as your A1s, right? Mm-hmm. This is how I make my priority lists. I don't know if I've ever talked about this on here, but A is like, I have to do this today, 1, 2, 3 in that order. Mm-hmm. And then B is maybe this week, 1, 2, 3 in that order. And Z is, if I get around to this in the next 5 years, I'll be fucking pretty thrilled about it.
Yeah.
So what I would do is make a list of a bunch of B's, right? You don't want to burn the gym. You don't want to burn a comedy club. So you make a list of 15 to 20 B's. And it doesn't matter if you burn those. Mm-hmm. So then you go to those places and you potentially, like you were saying, find someone to talk to. But again, it doesn't matter if you fuck it up because you don't need to go back to this place. It's not an A.
That's a great way to put it.
And so now I'm out. I wish you the best of luck. I do understand, dating younger is not necessarily your thing because you end up finding out things about them halfway. You know, it's really funny. As soon as I said dating younger, I saw your eyes where you do that thing where you just stare off into the distance. Oh, I loved it.
I stare down the barrel of the camera.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Just to look at the other listeners like, can you believe it? This shit again.
Can I tell you something? They can believe it. That's why they stick around and listen. Because they're the few that can put up with me.
I'm going to make t-shirts for everybody that says remarkably tolerant.
Yeah, go ahead.
We should have had Jenna put that on the Pretend Problems bracelets. Okay. This is titled, You Helped Me Make My Wife Cry.
I'm going to wait to listen before I get excited.
Okay. It is a positive one.
Okay, great.
Spoiler alert, tears of joy, they say.
Okay, great.
High calcium Chad. The fact that high calcium Chad has stuck is very funny.
I really enjoy that.
Let me start with the obligatory appreciation paragraph, which also made me laugh that's like so many people have written in and started with something so nice, which is like
it is really
warms
nice.
Our hearts. And now this person's like, all right, this is like, I have to do this. It's so funny. I discovered Kelsey on YouTube, which led me to your podcast, which is now a must-have to listen to when my wife and I are running our weekend errands.
Heck
Yay,
yeah.
Thank you. You two are our spirit animals, as there is a 16-year age difference between my wife and me.
Disgusting.
No laws were broken, as we were 46 me and 30 her when we met. Now together 9 years, married 7. Congratulations.
That's awesome.
And we do make each other laugh, as you two do. I see a lot of me and Chad, maybe because I am from Germany and our sarcasm is the language of my people. Also, suck these tits, bitch, gives me a semi whenever I hear him say it.
I did grow up in a very German family, and it was nonstop.
Yeah.
Like when you walked in, you normally, you see these family holiday movies and everyone gets to the front step and they're like, I'm so excited to go in. When you got there, you're like, all right, no fucking around. Here we go. We win this family tradition. Like looking around.
Everybody stick together.
Nobody takes any shit.
We also have a cat and a golden doodle, but before things get too weird, that's where the similarities end. Our dog is allowed in the bedroom, and he crawls under the bed for sexy time and doesn't reappear until post-nut clarity has set in again. Oh my God. While listening to your description of your time in London, I impulsively suggested to my wife that we should go there as well next year, which generated immediately the above-mentioned tears of joy. Flights are booked, the hotel is reserved, and the locations to visit mostly selected.
Oh, hell yeah.
Not only is she a Potterhead, but also a fan of Downton Abbey and The Crown. She's on her 4th time watching it. This is so cool. I love that us being excited about going is now making other people book a trip there. This is awesome. As a fan of Indian food, could you share the name and location of the restaurant you enjoyed so much, especially since the other location wasn't as good? Also, my wife would appreciate if you could travel to other locations that would inspire me to take her to as well.
That's funny.
We very much enjoyed your show in Timonium. Oh, thank you for coming out and look forward to see you two in Philly next year. Thank you, Laura and Marcus. Have you been there as well?
No.
Oh, okay. That's what you're great about.
Absolutely not. Fantastic. Thank you for the Philly thing. I think it's great that you're going to London. The name of the restaurant is Skadoosh.
It is not
Skadoosh. It's
Skadoosh.
actually, what is it?
Dishoom.
Dishoom. And it is the Piccadilly Circus location.
Now, I've got it open in front of me right now, and that is not the name of one of them. So it's got to be something else.
It's right in Piccadilly Circus, right off of that stop. I will absolutely tell you that.
It's in the theater district. It's like where all of the Broadway shows seem to be, right? Or is that not a good description?
We're going to have to come back to this one.
We're going to have to come back to it, but it's...
I find it to be if you Google Dishoom Piccadilly Circus, I bet you it will come up.
Okay. Do not go to the one at, is it Covent Garden? That's the one we went to, because that was right by our hotel. Don't go to that one. That's the one we went to, and we didn't like our experience there as much. But hopefully, yeah, do what Chad said. I'm sure it will pop up, but there's just technically not one called Piccadilly. But
sure.
Anyway, please let us know whenever you go and come back. God, it's so cool. You have to go to Westminster Abbey. That's like, I just think the coolest.
It is pretty crazy who's there. Yeah. It's a lot of people that were trying to prove the church wrong, and then the church was like, you can still have a grave here.
It's crazy.
Yep.
Crazy. Okay, this one is titled Note for Chad.
Oh, heavens.
Just a thank you from a fellow Minnesotan for the comedy. I raised 2 kids on my own, both now in their 20s and gone. It was my first Thanksgiving solo. I'm not a Friendsgiving type. Started clearing out my house of accumulated junk, listening to epic rock all day, and then at night I watched all of your specials. I have a lot of favorite stand-up comedians, but you hit it just right this weekend. From Mickey.
Oh, that's very nice. Thank you very much, Mickey.
That's wonderful. That's so nice. Yeah, we hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving as well. We haven't really mentioned anything about Thanksgiving. We did I guess it's technically like a Friendsgiving that we are a part of, but it's somebody's family.
Yeah, it's a friend and their entire family. And so that I have known for a while. I've known several of them for a long time. And then I just ditch you. I just get you in there and...
Okay, bye.
Yep.
Fend for yourself amongst these great ants that you don't know.
I'm going to go bet on kickers missing.
No, actually, for being a deep introvert, I did pretty well.
Yeah.
Did pretty well there.
Well, everyone there is so nice.
Everybody's so nice. I just get overwhelmed when it's a lot of people.
Yeah. There is not a person that will shun you or not talk to you or whatever. Yeah. And then all the kids running around is what really does it for me because it's just very fun to watch.
Yeah. You were in dad mode. It was very cute.
Yeah, it was very fun to do that.
Yeah, I noticed on my Oura Ring app that even though I don't realize I'm stressed, you can see on my chart that like as soon as we're around a group of people, it's like, bing! My heart rate is just like through the roof, just trying to navigate conversations and am I in this person's way? Should I sit here? What should I do? It's like very...
I bet it was because you saw me with children. I'm sure it shot it right up there.
Probably.
Yeah. I'm sure your eggs clogged your arteries.
Can't wait for our lung baby. I'm sure it's going to be really healthy.
It will be. My old ass fucking sperm trying to get there. Like, oh, we had sex last week and I'm still not pregnant. And then 2 weeks later, no sex, but now you're pregnant? Because my sperm had a walker. I could just fucking, I got lost. God damn it, I almost went out the asshole. Turned around.
That'd also be so fitting for you who hates using GPS. There aren't many things that show your age to me. I feel like we're the same age a lot of the time.
Uh-huh.
And this sort of like, I will not do what the robot tells me. I will figure it out for myself like I did when I was a child riding my bike around town with my friends.
I don't ever say that. And so I don't think it's an age thing for me. I think it is I want to learn and absorb where we are. So if we're ever here again, I'll know. Eventually they're going to turn the lights off. Okay? Eventually the internet will be no more. They're going to shoot the satellites out of the sky. And then you're going to need to know how to get to the grocery store and you're going to have to fucking come begging. And I don't know if I'm going to bring you because a game might be on and I might be gambling on it. I might be gambling with only gold. We only exchange gold because the bank accounts have been shut down.
Oh my God. You with GPS.
Join us over at the Patreon.
We'll get into this more, I'm sure.
Yeah, we'll talk about, I'm sure, the GPS thing, but it's like, I don't know. I just, if I know where I'm going, I don't need it. And sometimes I'll try to take a turn that isn't the right turn because on the map it looks like a shortcut, and then it ends up being a little median with a sidewalk, and you can't cross to the road you need, so you have to go back around and do all this. But just think of all the beautiful things we see. Oh. When I do that.
You know what's beautiful? Our house.
Getting places on time? Yeah, okay. That's fair.
That's the Mensa in you, who doesn't trust that this
it's
satellite
not about
technology...
Trust. It is not about trust. It's about wanting to know and do it. I like new things. I like new adventures. I like new scenery that really fires up my brain. So sometimes when I'm going to one spot over and over and over and over, if I had a job where I had a commute, I would have to take different routes. It would absolutely drive me fucking nuts. Or I would drive to work while reading a book because I would be so fucking bored.
Oh my God.
I don't know what else I would do.
That's so interesting. But I feel like you also really like routine. Must just be for different things than that. But
yeah, I don't know. Listen,
we were leaving.
We got a lot of different fucking chemicals floating around up there.
It's true. We were leaving a dueling piano bar the other night, which was not
no dueling.
Not dueling, just a man playing piano.
They didn't.
Another guy jingle jangling around.
Yeah, one guy would play piano and sing, and then the other guy would like fill in the notes with his piano.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't dueling at all. I want you to yell at each other. I want you to get mad. I want you to pick one side of the room. I want you to pick the other. I want to say, we've got spirit. Yes, we do. We love Jesus. How about you? I want a lot of that shit. But instead, it was, who knows, Rocket Man.
Yeah, it was like...
And then they would just fucking play Rocket Man.
Yeah.
Zero dueling.
Camaraderie piano bar.
Sucks.
Like, I mean, fine, but we were here for a different thing.
Yeah, I came for the dueling.
We had a great time, but as we left, Chad did use GPS, but then he just decided, no, whatever way it's telling me, I'm going to find a better one. And I'm like, this is the best one because the computer made it so. Somebody already mapped this out. It was their job to map it out. And Chad goes, I'm turning here instead. And of course, it took us around this whole other fucking way until we were
no time,
right back where we started.
It added zero
And I was
time.
like, just
I will also tell you
please.
that the beginning of it all, here's what happened. I was leaving the parking lot of this place and it said go straight. Well, guess what? Going straight would have put me into that fucking house in front of us. So I take a right. And then it's all fucking floop-de-floo spinning around. Like it's like the satellite's like, I don't know what to do. And so it changes the route. And I go, well, I've had about enough of this shit. So I took a right before I was supposed to and saw some lovely homes, some dedicated Christmas light decorators. And it added 0 minutes to our trip.
Can I tell them my Michael Scott pie moment?
Sure.
I made quiche. Excuse me. I made quiche for us. Was this last week? And if you're a fan of The Office, you probably know the scene where Michael Scott drives his car into the lake because the GPS is telling him to go straight, but he doesn't understand that it's a different direction. And he's just like, it's what it's telling me to do. And Dwight's like, Michael, you can't go straight. And he drives his car into the lake. I did that with making a quiche. You're pouring like the egg milk mixture on top of the pie crust. And I didn't have a deep enough pie dish. And so I was like, well, there's still this egg stuff left, but there's no more room. My brain just short circuited and I just kept pouring and pouring. And I watched it flow over the top onto the counter. And then I tried carrying it, which was already at the brim, to the oven. And I spilled it all down the inside of the oven door. It had smoke coming out like crazy. I mean, it was just, and I walked into the TV room where you were, and I was like, I just did the most mentally ill thing I've done in a while, where it was just like, I just let myself do something that my eyes clearly were like, there's no more room here. Stop this. And I just didn't. Anyway.
Before we move over to the Patreon, can I ask you one favor?
Yeah.
Please don't ask me if you can tell a story on your podcast. That makes me feel very uncomfortable. Let her fucking rip. That is a good one, because you came in immediately and were like, I just Michael Scotted the pie. And I was like, what happened? And I don't know The Office, but somehow I know that one. That one and the like the marathon one or the 5K.
Oh my God, yeah. Time to carbo load right before the race. Giant thing of fettuccine Alfredo.
God, you love that show so much.
It's my fucking favorite show in all the world. Oh my God.
So yeah, I knew that you had done something
deeply wrong. It's not like I'm asking your permission. May I please tell a story upon our show?
Let's rewind it, because you said, can I tell a story about the pot?
I meant more like, can I get this in before we change subject?
Do whatever the fuck you want. That's my point.
Well,
Except talk about the end of a football game before there's zeros.
Oh my God.
That was a long con.
What?
Long con, great setup. Okay, see you at the Patreon.
We'll see you at the Patreon, guys.
Bye.
Bye.